That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3.
Hi there, my name's Chrissie and I'm 62 and I'm transgender, if you hadn't noticed. I've been aware of being transgender since I was tiny. Anyway, I just want to introduce this video series that I'm doing to talk about what it is to be transgender and what it is to have faith. I hope you'll come along for the ride. We didn't want to bore you with 2-hour podcasts, so this is just like little 5-minute videos that you can dip in and out of. So welcome. As I said, I was transgender, or was different, knew I was different from a very early age. And even the boys at school knew that I was different, and I got beaten up regularly and bullied for being pansy, sissy, puff, gay, queer. So they knew that there was something different about me. They knew that I wasn't male enough, that there was something different. So here I am, 50 years on, a man in a dress. But I'm not a man and I'm not a woman. I'm not defined by the binary of male and female. I am transgender. Why would anybody, any male, risk putting on a dress and risk being out and being beaten up by knuckle-dragging Neanderthals? I'm making this video for those who identify as being somehow different, somehow other, but especially those who identify as being transgender. And of course I want to make this world a safer place for transgender kids growing up, because the world can be an incredibly hostile place. And that means challenging stereotypical imaginations of what people think transgender is. And I didn't learn I was transgender from the television. I didn't learn I was transgender from the internet. We didn't have the internet back then, and we didn't have a television till way after I started school. I didn't learn I was transgender from society. I just was and am. And I can't unlearn being transgender, because I'm transgender just like you, or male or female. It's an opportunity for you to learn from my story, from our stories, from our lived experience. We got married in this church 30 years ago, and we've got friendships here which stretch back nearly 40 years. For 5 years I was on church staff here, and for 15 years we worshipped here and served here. And recently we've come back to see if we could make this our spiritual home, only to be shocked to discover that the senior clergy here had written a letter to the House of Bishops asking them to withdraw their warm welcome to us as transgender. The ceaseless rhetoric against us as transgender is brutal, it's wearying, and it takes a huge toll. All I'm asking really is that people would talk to us, they would listen to our lives, listen to our stories before they make any judgments. Some of the loudest voices opposed to my existence and our existence as transgender are actually coming from within the Church of England. The vicar here at this church, which is just a few hundred yards away from my own, has written a leaflet, a pamphlet, a book that really doesn't want us to live as transgender. And in this book, he ignores and dismisses the best advice of the National Health Service, the advice of the World Health Organization, and the advice of the World Professional Association for Transgender Healthcare, which has been in existence for 70 years. As far as I know, he has no qualifications to address our lives as transgender, And yet he wants the church to read and believe his book. And yet it's a book that can cause huge damage to transgender youth. So again, I want to offer the challenge that he should actually come and listen to us and talk to us before he writes his book and before he makes his judgments. For me, it's like discipleship is just an amazing, lovely thing. It's wonderful in that it's just relationships of love, friendship and purpose. But I guess for a lot of people outside the church, it's not an easy word. It doesn't sit comfortably. In fact, I've got more friends who are ex-church and outside of church who want to live their lives still according to what Jesus taught. Love your neighbour as yourself. But they struggle with the way discipleship is exercised in the church as a kind of top-down hierarchy of the greater teaching the lesser. Those with authority controlling those who don't have. So what I want to try and do is redefine discipleship as a beautiful thing and claim it back. I was 21 and a drug addict when I first heard Jesus say, "Come follow me." He said, "I am the way, the truth and the life, and the truth shall set you free." And when I heard that, something in me resonated, and I knew it was true. And 40 years on, it works. I found that it really does work. The truth does set you free. And I'm still following Jesus, not always making a good job of it. So that's really the end of the first video, and I hope you'll come and listen to more, and just want to wish you lots of love, lots of peace, lots of blessing.